African leaders have called for all armed groups to withdraw from occupied territory in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo by the end of next month, the regional EAC bloc said. Now, it was the latest bid by the seven-nation East African community to silence the gangs in the mineral-rich region, where fierce fighting has driven vast numbers of Congolese from their homes and exacerbated regional tensions. Leila Mohammed has those details.
The East African community deployed troops in late 2022 in the eastern part of the DRC, which has been struggling with the rise of militias, including the rebel March 23 M23 movement and the Allied Democratic Forces ADF, which the Islamic State group describes as its regional affiliate. At a mini-summit in Addis Ababa on Friday, regional leaders directed withdrawal of armed groups by 30th March 2023 from occupied areas. They also called for an immediate ceasefire by all armed groups and the resettlement of people displaced by the violence. Kenya's William Ruto stated that the region cannot walk away from the people of DRC, as history will be very harsh on the region. The DRC accuses its smallest Central African neighbor Rwanda of backing the M23, a charge that Rwanda has denied. UN experts, the United States and several other Western states agree with the DRC, however. Both DRC President Felix Tshisekedi and his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame were among those at the summit, which took place on the eve of a two-day African Union summit in the Ethiopian capital.
Ordinary session of the Assembly of the African Union.
The regional heads of state have also called for the repatriation of Congolese refugees in Rwanda and Uganda and recommended the creation of an EAC monitoring and evaluation mechanism in the eastern part of the DRC. The EAC has issued similar calls for a ceasefire and the withdrawal of all armed groups, including foreign entities, at an extraordinary summit in Burundi on February 4th. The United Nations said on Friday that more than $600 million was needed this year to help 1 million people who have fled DR Congo and the African countries where they have sought refuge. The humanitarian crisis gripping the giant Central African country is one of the most complex and protracted in the world. Militias have plagued the eastern DRC for decades, many of them a legacy of regional wars that flared during the 1990s and the early 2000s. Some 5.5 million people were displaced within the country as of last November, according to the United Nations. In addition, more than 1 million people had left for a neighboring country, with more than 500,000 seeking shelter in Uganda alone.